Hello, welcome back to another video. And if you're new, hello. And if you're not new, hello. Today I want to talk about friend zone. A zone that has existed since the dawn of time where people has been casted down to and it hurts. You know, for most people. To kind of define it, friend zoning is typically two people in a situation where one person wants to just stay friends and the other person was hoping for a romantic and or sexual relationship. In my opinion, that type of friendship or relationship or situation is kind of toxic because it sucks, it's annoying, and it's just sad. It's just overwhelmingly sad to me. You know, it just sucks. It sucks on both sides. It sucks to be the person who you thought you had a friend, and it sucks to be the person where you was hoping it would be one of those love stories where you're friends to lovers type of situations. Just to find out you're friends and still friends. Maybe even no longer friends, but not to lovers. Maybe to enemies. I'm not talking about friend zones where a person is only sticking around or keeping someone just so they can use them for their own benefit. Like, I'm gonna stay being friends with them even though I know they like me, just so I can use them because I need someone to drive me places, buy me food, give me money, you know, all that type of situation. I'm not really talking about that because that's not really friend zoning someone. That's just pretending that there's something to you even though you're only using them to your own benefit. That's like worse than friend zoning someone. I'm talking about the situation where you find out or you already knew before you became friends with that person that they liked you or that they was interested in you, you know, either romantically or sexually and you stayed friends with them because you like being friends with them, but you can't seem to let them go even though that they like you and they don't see you as a friend. You know, they don't want to be friends with you. They want to be with you. I've been reading stuff off of this thing, and I'm saying a lot less than what I actually typed, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how that happened. Do you want me to get closer to the screen? Just kidding. I'm friend zoning you. I'm gonna chill now, okay? We're chilling, you know? We're friends chilling. We're chilling, and I want to share with you a story. It's not that bad, but it's my worst experience with friend zoning someone that made me realize, damn, I don't ever want to friend zone someone again. Or I don't ever want to be friends with someone who wants to be more than friends with me. Because that's just, I'm aromantic asexual, meaning I don't want to date anyone and I don't want to have sex with anyone. When you're aromantic asexual or arorace, there's going to be a lot of friend zoning you gotta do. Or you probably will do or have done. Maybe not if you're not as attractive as me. It was mostly in high school for me. Friend zoning, or, you know, people liking you and you don't want to date them. You don't want to do anything with them. You just want to stay friends. That's what I'm trying to say. Just go on to my experience, my story, my journey. I knew him from middle school. And then one day he DM'd me on Instagram and he was like, hey, what's up? I'm trying to get with you. And I'm like, LOL, you're so funny. Let's be friends. You know, I basically friend zoned him from the very beginning, while he always wanted something more. And in the beginning, it was kind of like playful. You know, he flirted with me. I would playfully flirt with him back, you know. I didn't even realize I was playing with his feelings. I was just playing along in my head. And then eventually I was like, hey, I shouldn't be acting like this. I shouldn't be treating him like this. If it's kind of like stringing him along, and I don't want to be the type of person that strings people along, you know, making them think that maybe one day something could happen. You know, I didn't want to be that person. So yeah, I stopped being friends with him for a while because I was like, I gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. We're never gonna date, blah, blah, blah. And eventually me and him reconnected again, and I was just like, hey, we're just friends forever and ever. And he was like, okay, we're friends. But he always made it clear on how much he wanted to date me. And I was just like, always trying to push it aside whenever that conversation came up. And it'll always be awkward to the point where I don't think I would ever felt comfortable meeting up with him and hanging out with him Because hanging out with someone, especially as a girl, knowing that they like you is so uncomfortable. Because it's just like, what if they try to kiss me, or what if they try to touch me, or what if they try this or that? Because since they like you, they're gonna want to do those things with you. It was just like always on my mind, and it was just like, how can I be friends with someone where I can't even trust them as a friend? Because I'm not saying you can't do those things with friends. And it just got to the point where he couldn't respect he wouldn't respect my boundaries. He wouldn't respect, the little things, like, hey, don't speak to me like that, or don't say those things to me, or I would try in every single possible way to tell him I'm not interested and I never will be interested. It was getting to the point where I was even being mean to him, because it was just like, I don't know how straightforward I can be. You're not my type. I don't find you attractive. I was just trying to find and say every little thing that I could say to get him to see the point where I could never, I would never date him, and I don't ever want to. I was hoping that eventually he'll get bored of me or stop being attracted to me and all that, to the point where he'll get his own girlfriend and he'll move on and me and him could be friends normally. But he will say things like, I don't think I could ever find a girl like you, or something like that. And it's just, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know I'm not that great. I know I'm not that attractive. Like, I'm pretty sure you've developed this sort of idea of me that makes you think I am so great and hot. Basically, I knew for sure that he's had this whole idea of me that was not real, to the point where he was becoming delusional, to the point where he was just so obsessed with the idea of being with me that it was just like, bro, you're not living in reality. I can't anymore. Like, there was a couple times where I stopped talking to him, and then I'll go back to him because he was funny and he was nice to me. And my weaknesses, being funny and nice to me. Everyone's weaknesses. He was also into art, and he would draw, and he made music, and he just could have been such a great friend. And I also felt kind of trapped because I was his only friend, pretty much. It seemed like I was the only friend that cared about him, because I'm not afraid to show someone that I care about them, or that I'm interested in what they're talking about, or I will answer you in 2.5 seconds. And I guess for a guy who, because you know how a lot of guys are, where they're not used to such affection, platonic affection, that they can mistake that type of affection for romantic or sexual. And it's just like, no, man, she just cares about you. And then there was one point where I would always tell him, I always tell him, don't ever send. It was just getting to the point where I was afraid he would send me nudes. He sent it in a way that was kind of a sneakish way to send a nude, because it was his butt in the mirror. And I don't know, I don't know. I didn't want to see it, okay? I didn't. It looked like a picture that would be on Grindr. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I told him. Because I was trying so much to reflect. And no, not reflect. I was trying so much to deflect. And I deflect with humor. So as soon as he sent that, I was like, ha ha ha, that should be on Grindr. Ha ha ha. Why the fuck would you send me that? I told you to never send me nudes. And since he was trying to be funny, it was like a funny way of sending a nude. And I don't know. Getting a nude from someone who you're not attracted to and you don't want to be with, or you just see them as a friend, but they're sending that nude to... I need to calm down. Calm down. Okay, calm down. It's just like, I knew he sent that nude in a non-platonic way, basically. And that is what disgusted me, probably because I'm aromantic, asexual, whatever. And basically that was kind of like the last straw. It was like one of the last of the many last straws that I had with the guy. And it was just like, I can't be friends with you anymore. And then he would dismiss me by getting like an attitude with me. He would be like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore, or I'm not gonna treat you like this anymore. And then he'll go right back to doing it. Or I'll set my boundaries, and it goes by first tickling the boundary, and then he would totally just demolished the boundary, and just, I don't know, being friends with him started to get tiring, and it felt a little trapped because I felt like if I stopped being friends with him, then it would be bad for him, you know? Because I cared about him. I loved him, you know? He was my friend. And it was just sad to stop being friends with him. But it was also something I knew I had to do for the last time. When I stopped being friends with him, it kind of broke my heart at first. You know, I cried for a while because it was like a heartbreak, you know? He is an asshole. He did not respect me. He, you know, didn't respect my boundaries. From then and on, that I shouldn't be friends with someone who likes me. It just made me think, should friend zones even exist? Because friend zone is just a whole awkward and uncomfortable situation, and I just don't see the plus side of it. Like, I get it if it was both consensual, but the whole idea of a friend zone is that it's not both parties agree. If anything, friend zone is a disagreement. You're friend zoning someone who wants to be more than friends with you, or you're trying to date someone who only sees you as a friend. All I can say is, don't be friends with someone who doesn't see you as a friend, because technically that's not a friendship. And the other way around, don't try to be with someone who only sees you as a friend. You know, there are times where you guys can be technically friends, and then you guys both end up liking each other, you know, it's equal. But when someone doesn't like you, and they say they never will, or you know that they never will, don't still try to be with them. Move on, okay? It's okay to move on. You'll find someone for you. Because at some point, it starts feeling like harassment. It starts feeling awkward for the other person, and it's just uncomfortable and sad for everyone involved. I guess that's all I have for today. I feel a little sad now. That's just my input on what I think about friend zones, and the fact that I don't really think that they should exist because it's kind of toxic, or it's just like a very sad situation. And you know, I kind of giving my own experience on friend zoning a person that turned out to be a sad situation. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe, definitely leave a comment, and leave a like. I love reading comments, by the way. They're my favorite thing about being a YouTuber. If you have something to say, or you want to talk about your own experience, or if you relate to my experience, leave a comment. What do you think about friend zones? You know, if there's any plus sides to it, let me know, because the whole definition of friend zone seems like a negative. And put the notifications on, because I don't really have a schedule on what I'm posting. I'm kind of just making the video and posting it when I can. Until next time, just kidding. See you in the next video. Goodbye.